read an article. Well, I should have been working, but I read an article about a sheepdog. Do we have that photo? There you go. All right. So that, go ahead and get your alls out of the way. It's okay. All right. All right. His name is Casper. He's a 20-month-old sheepdog from Decatur, Georgia. I'm going to tell you. Anybody read this story yet this week, Brother Dave? Brother Dave and I read the same news outlets, and we send them to each other. I've read about 30 articles trying to make sure I got all the information on him. In short, he fought off 11 coyotes for over a half an hour protecting his flock, protecting his sheep. Now, from what I gather, the shepherd, the owner of the sheep and goats, he saw the coyotes. He was able to count them, and one of the articles said he had his kid with him, so he had to, retreat. He had to grab his kid and get out. Apparently, it's very odd for coyotes to group together like that. This particular pack had been causing problems, I guess, in some of the farms in the nearby area, and apparently they were pretty ravenous, which means they were determined to kill those sheep. They were determined to kill them. And what really impressed me with this is at the end of it all, when they finally came back to the scene, they found bits of his ear, bits of his tail, some of his flesh, but they also found 8 dead coyotes. He had been engaged in a fight for over a half an hour. Anybody here a boxing fan? Used to box? Back in my youth, I used to box, and it's probably why I'm a little mushy now. How long's an average boxing round? 3 minutes. 3 minutes, that's it. 3 minutes, then you get a break. Sister Penny, being the crime fighter that she is, she can tell you that most fights in prison are done within seconds. They're done within seconds. And how are they when they're done? They are exhausted. We're exhausted because we ran to them, but they're exhausted because they were fighting, just because of that adrenaline and that rush. And you're out. There is no 20-minute fight like you see in the movies. For this dog to stay in the fight for 30 minutes is incredibly impressive. They say that when they went back, they couldn't find the dog, and he had been gone for 2 days. And, of course, they feared the absolute worst. And then after 2 days, the dog shows up at the barn, and he meets his owner there. And the way the owner describes it, he says he didn't want sympathy. He said, "Hey, boss, quit looking at me like I'm broken. Take me to the vet and get me fixed." They took him to the vet, and the vet reported that it looked like he had skin peeled back. He had skin peeled back from him. And that he probably would never be a sheepdog again because he had been spoiled too much by everybody pouring all that attention and love over him. But he's on the mend. Over 15